It is the 21st of February, 2023. We're exactly midnight. I want to talk about our sponsor, Open Early here. We're sponsored by Anti Aging Bed. They have actual stuff. The sauces are the smallest purchase you can make and might have the most improvement. My studio audience is not sitting right next to me, but she took my advice and used the hair tonic. The SDR sauce is a hair tonic. And can you yell from in there? Is your hair better? Yes, it's much better. She's on the farthest away from a microphone, a place to rest. And anyway, our stuff works. I love it. I wouldn't be pushing them if it hadn't made a huge difference in my life first. Okay, we're going to talk about the original programming model here. So let's go back for a second here. Hey, Brady, I think you're on as
Yeah.
number one here. So sort of outing our infrastructure. um, so, did you know that Johnny Carson did 5,000 plus shows and had more than 24,000 guests? Did you know that?
Yes.
Did you know that 12 hours ago?
No.
Neither did I. So, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the Tonight Show. But if we're going to do this the right way, I have to start where we want to finish. Because before Johnny was Ed Vincent Sullivan, this guy right here. So we got a really good show. Early life and career. He's born in 1901. This guy had to have lived through part of the reset, right? I mean, well, I don't know. 1892 is when that big flood happens, right? We have pictures of 1892 New York streets flooded, right?
Right.
What was on that one show? What did we catch? We caught San Francisco, New York, and Paris,
Yes.
and one other city. It was Russian. That they were all underwater in 1892 with 20 or 30 feet worth of mud. So he's in the next generation after that, and his family loved music. And this guy had 10,000 guests and did about 2,000 shows. This is him.
Was the face of Sunday night television. He welcomed, for 2 decades, Ed Sullivan was the face of Sunday night television. He welcomed 10,000 performers into the homes of American viewers on his show. Through his program, many of America's biggest stars were given their first taste of national exposure. The Beatles, Woody Allen, Jackie Mason, Phyllis Diller, and Rowan and Martin were among those who gained popularity after appearing on the show.
So before so Johnny, this guy we're going to cover here, was begat by Ed. And Ed was begat by Jack Benny.
Wow.
Oh my God! You know what that looks like? That looks like a Stargate portal. Oh wait, it's Rod TV. It is opener. Eddie Anderson was the first black man to have a recurring role in a national radio show. And oh man, he was a step and fetch. Total characterization of racism coming at us. And this guy's born in 1901 and he has a 60-year career. So Jack Benny begats Ed Sullivan. Jack Benny, born Benjamin Kubelski in 1894. He's born 2 years. No, that's what we just saw. He was a vaudeville. We can go back before talkies. Before there were talkies, there were silent movies. Before there were silent movies, there was vaudeville. And then we get to here's Johnny, the most guy that ever gets any Johnnies more than anybody is Bob Hope. Who is Bob Hope? This is Bob Hope doing the Bob Hope Serviceman Tour. So Bob Hope is part of the programming of the military. Bob Hope has an up and down. He is in the crew. Bing Crosby's with him. Hope died in 2003, 2 months after he turned 100 years old. Hey, what's the easiest way to live to be 100 years old?
Well,
Yeah.
he's at.
Take that Hollywood drug. That's right. The one that
Yeah,
starts with A and ends with chrome and has Drena in the middle.
that's right.
Okay, so here we go. We're gonna play the equivalent of 1,000 question games as I roll through this and just rail my ass off. And this might take 4 shows to get through an hour here because I'm a little charged up. He had 24,000 guests, and he is the third in the line of succession from Jack Benny through this. This is the programming of America for 40 years. A studio audience, how many times did you miss Carson if you could get it? How many times did you miss the Johnny Carson show if you could watch it? Yeah, that's exactly right. What you couldn't hear there is that she watched it with her father. It's a generational thing. The programming of watching late night television, don't even get me into the current generation. I'm not doing that. That's fear porn. Oh, wait a
I
minute.
watched it with my mother.
Yes, exactly. So here's Johnny. Oh, by the way, I'll do this and then I'll stop railing. Well, wait, I'm not going to stop railing. So in the 80s, we get a quote. This is actually the whole show from here on out. I'm just going to rail. This is the here's Johnny scene from our current generation. Oh, wait a minute. This is me trying to feed the mules at sunrise in Colorado. And here's my very gracious studio audience and landlord saying, "It's cold out there. Will you please go feed the mules?" And here's the mule saying, "If you don't come out and feed us, we're going to bite you next time you try and ride."
Come out, wherever you are.
She's living in a 15-minute city and she's trying to get out to go to Wawa. Oh, wait, that's a different show. I'm not going to watch the fear porn in the middle. That's a whole bit of my life I won't get back. But this is the line because we're going to see the origin of this line in just a second.
Here's Johnny.
Hey, you know where that line came from? It came from right here.
Guests tonight are Joan Crawford, Rudy Valley, Tony Bennett, Mel Brooks, the Phoenix Singers, Hitch Anderson with the NBC.
Wait, in the lineup of Here's Johnny over here, did they include an axe murderer? Because Jack Nicholson was literally an axe murderer in that previous scene. No. We got current performers.
The orchestra and me. I'm Ed McMahon. Right now, let's welcome the fellow you waited 6 months to see.
So this guy is a media axe murderer. That is the concatenation. Look it up. To concatenate is to compress multiple ideas, processes, or steps into a shorter, more efficient set, otherwise known as hacking. This guy hacked our brain. 24,000 guests. Who do you think was the person that said the common narrative across those guests should be what I'm told? Who do you think did that? This guy. And Ed Sullivan taught him how to do that before that, and Jack Benny taught him how to do it before that.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. This is kind of an emotional thing for me because I've known about this show.
Well, I've known about the fact that I was going to murder my wife for quite some time in a later movie in a few years. Okay, so we're going to get to the lineup of all the people that have come through. Well, let's listen to Johnny Wax Prosaic for a minute.
For a long time. And the newspapers, the magazines, and I've probably been interviewed 150 times in the last 9 months since I've known about this. As I say, you work up to it. We come over here this afternoon. We meet the guests that are on the show. And you get kind of charged up. I don't mean to be maudlin about it. But I know that tonight a lot of people, a lot of my friends are watching all over the country. And I only have one feeling as I stand here knowing that so many people are watching. I want my man there. Well, I made it through that first night with the help of Groucho Marx, Rudy Valley, Joan Crawford, Tony Bennett, and Mel Brooks. I could never...
So Johnny is just talking about his first night on air.
Right.
24,000 guests ago, his first guest, he leads with Groucho Marx. Do you know when Johnny starts his show, do you know who the most popular movie star in all of Hollywood was at the time? How about Groucho Marx?
Yep.
So so he opens his show. That's like Bill Gates starting Microsoft out of his garage. Oh no, did I do that? Yes, I did.
Never have imagined I would walk through that curtain almost 5,000 times in 30 years.
The following program is brought to you in living color on NBC.
And now, here's Johnny! Thank you. Now, and thank you very much, please. Thank you very much. Thank you. That is very.
This is the level of adulation around this man. Okay, he's driving the program. I already showed you the Here's Johnny part. I'm not going to go down that line. But, oh, by the way, do you know that that resort that is way up in the mountains where Jack Nicholson slays everyone?
Estes Park, Stanley.
Thank you, studio audience. What is that? 75 miles from where we are right now?
Not even that. No.
Well, it feels like 75 miles because it's in the mountains, but it is not very far from where I am. And the first time I ever walked to that property, I was 10. And it was, let's just say it was before they made the movie.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very kind of you. Thank you very much. Thank you. I love you too. We are around the studio so emotionally high from last night's show. We have not come down yet. And I want to thank...
I don't know what Johnny did the night before. I don't want to hear about it. Okay. So
It was good.
what he does is he goes through... Oh, no, we get to watch some commercials. Oh, yes.
Bill?
Now, over the years, Bill drives and drives.
Hey, look, horses, Duke!
Then drives his Honda. Then, when it's time, Bill trades his Honda.
Well, thanks again, Bill.
So they're talking about the Honda Accord here, by the way. You know, for many years, the Honda Accord was the most stolen car because they sold so many of them. So now they trick us into buying toilet paper. But back then they used to trick us into cars the same way. And wait, is Honda? Is that an Asian company?
It's not American.
Thank you.
Thank you, Henry, for another Honda. Honda, number one in owner loyalty.
You're going to be a loyal owner, so you can be number one if you buy a Honda. What do you do with every message from the enemy? What do you do with it? You turn it around and say it backwards. You are a loyal owner and a number one guy if you buy a Honda. Hey, do you know how you make a hormone? You don't pay her.
Again.
Oh no! I predicted the whore.
You gonna get it. You never believe what you're getting into.
I find it interesting that
You gonna get it.
there's a radioactive signal on this guy's shirt. This is a long time ago.
You never believe.
Oh, he's cool. He's radioactive. There's a song. There's a song that is exactly this.
Well, not uptight, not unattractive. Turn me on tonight. 'Cause I'm radioactive. It's not a fight, and I'm not your captive. Turn me loose tonight. 'Cause I'm radioactive. I want to.
I'm not uptight. I'm not unattracted. Turn me on tonight because I'm radioactive. There's not a fight. I'm not your captive. You know why?
Stay with you. I want to play with you, yeah. I want to play with you, and I want you to know. Got to concentrate.
I gotta concentrate. What do you concentrate on if you live during the time of the 24,000 guests on this show?
What you getting into?
You concentrate on the commercials. Everybody's cool here. Is that acid rain? Oh no, that's right now in East Palestine.
Can't escape, so you might as well forget it. Just wait till we get our hands on you. Wait, can't wait, I can't wait. I just can't.
Look at all the men that are in the middle of this being sexualized. Oh, and then there's an ape.
How does your bank react when you ask for...
This is supposed to be our bank? Wow, they are way ahead of their time. You know, this is, you know why you'd rather deal with an ATM?
Yep.
I deal with a private bank, and I know the people that work there, and I know the people whose money are in it. But this is Bank of America.
home equity loan?
Oh, home equity loan? Are you kidding me? You have no idea what's coming. Or what's next on my commercial lineup? I get an ape. When we're not reporting, we're talking about it. Democracy will decay into slime. Are you kidding me? I don't know if I can. I'll try. Rachel Maddow, decay into slime.
Hi, I'm Rachel Maddow from MSNBC, and per the request
I will not do this very long, okay? Because I cannot stand this woman's voice.
of the news team here at Late Night with Seth Meyers. It's really good for the midterms because it's all these people running who are...
This is an example of democracy decaying into slime, okay?
The K into the slime. The classic example, the big two, the Democrats and Republican parties.
That's what I'm talking about.
We owe our children at least as much as we have come to expect from the generations before us.
Michael Harrison middays on WTO.
Yeah, let's talk. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
IC AM 1080, Connecticut's news and information.
You know, Brandy, I quit watching regular television a little over 30 years ago. I remember a bunch of this period of television.
Station.
This is what they used to do in transition. They call this a card now, and or a cart, sorry. And it's reference to an 8-track insert into an old cut board that doesn't exist anymore.
Now, we're going to show you.
Look at Johnny in his MAGA tie. Is that flying too close to the sun for my audience?
As I mentioned, over the past 30 years, we have had some 24,000 guests on this show.
I just want to make sure everybody hears that.
Over the past 30 years, we have had some 24,000 guests.
24,000 programming items. Does that sound like a program to you? 24,000 lines of code in a complex program. Does that sound right? It does if you're writing in COBOL, which is the active programming language in back-end systems that were part of original DARPA and the original Internet set, which was the predecessor to the World Wide Web.
On their show from every profession, actors, comedians, singers, dancers, politicians, writers.
Tim Berners-Lee posted the first webpage in March of 1992, combining TCP/IP and DNS, which is domain naming services, which resolves the actual name of the website, like google.com, to a server number. So this is prior to the internet, as it worked. And Mozilla was the first browser that actually functioned. And America Offline was in the middle of that, for those who need a timing reference.
And so forth. What we have tonight are just little images. We picked these things out.
No, there's just little images. It's going to take us like probably as many as 5 shows to get through all the little images here. So, buckle up, sweetheart. What was the prayer in your house that didn't work you till 4 o'clock in the morning?
Yeah.
Well, watch what you wish for.
To show you, these are not long sketches like we do on our anniversary show. We just wanted to give you a sense of some of the foolishness that has happened on this show.
The foolishness that's happened on the show. You want to pick that one up?
That's amazing.
Who are the fools?
We are.
Yeah.
In the past 30 years.
Well, first, let me tell you your asset.
Okay, for everyone that doesn't know, this is Richard Milhouse Nixon.
Who could possibly miss that nose?
Are you kidding me? This is the guy who they're talking.
And I want to say this to the television audience. I made my mistakes. But in all of my years of public life, I have never profited from public service.
Oh, my God, this is too easy. Oh, this is too easy. So how many years ago is this?
1960. No, wait. 1973.
So the last time we see him is the last time he gets on Air Force One. Right here.
Let's go now to Andrews Air Force Base. We can see the picture. Bob Schieffer is there.
Walter, one of the presidential helicopters has just landed behind the Spirit of 76. It's just now setting down. They have not yet turned off the engines. And I'm not sure.
So the one that gets all the press is him at the top of the gangway, holding up 2 signs that I'm not a crook.
Edward Cox, the president's son-in-law.
This is the guy who is right over here.
Earned every cent. And in all of my years...
And I was going to go talk about Biden saying that he has never profited from his family business, but that's just too easy. Someone else should pick that up. Here he is on the Johnny Carson show. You know,
Wow.
this is after he's left Washington. This is like, I want to say, 2 or 3 news cycles right after he left. I remember when he got on that freaking, I'm not a crook. Do you know who taught Donald John Trump how to work the inner side of Washington? You know who that was?
Richard Nixon.
Yes. Do you know where he lived for the subsequent 2 years after he left the White House?
Donald Trump's building.
Trump Tower in Mar-a-Lago.
You're young, 42, right?
Right.
Wow. No, I'm sorry, 42, not 45.
You come over on television like gangbusters. And boy, I'm the expert on how important that is.
You're not going to lend me your makeup man, are you?
So there's a reference here about the show and the makeup man. I'm not going to go there. I'm trying to get through these. I don't want to make this a million shows until it should be. So Nixon lost the follow-up election and then was subsequently crucified in the middle of Watergate, which is where he was caught spying on another elector. Oh, that didn't happen, did it? Are you getting the cycles and correlations here? You know, when I launched this process, I was talking about 5,000-year cycles, 24,000-year cycles, 50,000-year cycles, 2,160-year cycles. We are down to, 50 years at least, right?
Yep.
We're lied to about who we are, what we are, when we are, and what we're capable of.
Lyndon Johnson. I'm so delighted to see you.
Oh, yeah. Who's this guy?
I don't know him.
He is, let's just say he's the Pops. He started this process. The first time I heard about Nassar was in 1984, and Reagan was supposed to do it. They shot him. The guy they shot before that was this guy.
Because I ride up and down in my building every day in the elevator, and I see a man that says he's Johnny Carson. So it's great.
Yeah. So this guy right here, he also lives in the same building as Carson. Are we seeing the weaving together of this evil web yet?
Yeah.
Really. It's right in front of us.
See you, Frank. It's not really. In addition to that, who are you?
So this is Groucho Marx right here. Groucho Marx went from talkies, silent movies, and he was a vaudeville player. This guy is one of the original Hollywood elites.
What's even more important?
Carol Andreessen.
You're Joanne who?
Carol Andreessen.
Carol Andreessen. You're 2 different girls?
Yes.
If you look it up, there's a set of Grayson murders. It's Manson 50 years earlier. And that's who's on Johnny's first show. I really want to like Johnny Carson. I watched him a long time, but the more research I do, the more he might be a bad guy. What's the line I get in trouble for and get banned on other shows? It's hard to get this far without being a kid eater.
Say the secret word and Groucho will come to your house.
The amount of sexual innuendo we hear from Johnny is astounding. He would be canceled in 0.2 of a second. Because I bet you Johnny wouldn't let the 87 letter group, starting with LB, whatever, right? He wouldn't even let them close. But at the time, Johnny gets a round of applause because they turn on the applause sign. And what do the sheep do?
I see. My dressing room isn't good enough for her.
see a doctor. I've got to see a doctor.
So who is this? You know who this is?
Tiny Tim.
Tiny Tim is the first transgender you're going to see. You know who he looks a striking amount like?
Not exactly.
Oh, you're going to love this one. Oh, Manson. You think Tiny Tim looks anything like Marilyn Manson?
Yep.
Are we talking about cloning on this show?
Well.
Look at Johnny. Johnny's like, are you kidding me? They're falling for this shit?
Yep.
I swear to you that this is Marilyn Manson. But so he is a cross-gendering in the current incarnation. In the current incarnation, he looks like this. Well, that's not it. Look at that.
Yep.
Do I get a resemblance? He was a musician at this time, and Johnny can't believe it. Just like I can't believe it when listens to Marilyn Manson. Ed Sullivan is the predecessor to Johnny Carson. This is Johnny Carson emulating Ed Sullivan. He's taking the throne. This is about a week and a half after Ed's retired, and he's passing the throne. This throne has been passed from Jack Benny to Ed Sullivan to Johnny Carson to fill in the blank. How many late night shows are there now? 15? Back then there was only one. There was only one king, one ring to rule them all.
Oh, you go right ahead there. Do your impressions. Don't be nervous.
I'm telling you that this is going to be a really good show. It's going to be a really good show. I know the impression. I'm programmed by this.
I worked 30 years as faithful sidekick for...
Okay, who is that?
Tonto.
He gave you most of it. but listen to what Tonto says about the white man.
Kimasabi. Hunt, fish, make...
Oh, you go right ahead there. Do your impressions. Don't be nervous.
I worked 30 years as faithful sidekick for Kimasabi. Hunt, fish, make food, sew clothes, sweep up, stay awake all night, listen for enemies for Kimasabi, risk life for Kimasabi. 30 lousy years.
Nine fights for the Navy.
Well, you must have been pretty good because I don't see no marks on you. Nothing.
Okay, who is that?
Muhammad Ali.
I'm the champ. I float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. The thriller from Manila. There is an event that happens. That look, we're looking at things that are happening here at the time. Watch this.
All you're gonna see me do is Joe Frazier's head all night. I'm gonna stop all these people talking about Joe Frazier. They still think Joe Frazier can whoop me. I'm gonna show him. You see how he's bouncing? See his head?
Ali was the premier fighter. He is the Michael Tyson. He is the Michael Tyson of his time. He is, and he changes to Muslimism, by the way. He had a move that was a 7-punch combination. No one had ever done this before. It changed boxing. Oh, it's 10, not 7. So this is what the rope-a-dope is, what they called it at the time. I'm going to slow this down. So this is watch him throw these punches. This is the way we feel right now as truthers, by the way. And the Thriller from Manila. This is a follow-up fight because just like they can't create new movies or come up with new ideas, they just keep putting the same people. This is black against black. This is predictive programming of the turmoil of our nation. Well, here's the guy over here. Notice the shorts are almost. Don't give me any color blinders. So Ali takes it in the corner. He takes the punches. This is what we're supposed to be doing, taking the punches. Then it happens. Ali comes out of the corner. That's one. That's two. That's three. That's four. Ali is the man. He is the fighting man. And then they go, this is the Thriller. So this is Joe Frazier. This is Don King, who's the promoter. Don King is he's like a cartoon character.
Insulted Frazier's intelligence, claimed he smelled bad, and snuck into one of Frazier's training sessions to harass him.
So when you were in junior high school and you were in gym class, because I don't know about it, when I was in junior high school, you had to go to gym class. And you had to dress out, you had to get naked in front of other kids and all this other shit. And a gym class was the most torturous hour of the day, every single day. So what does he do? Ali taunts Joe Frazier by saying, "You're stinky and your mother's ugly."
Well, at our school, the girls didn't have to, but the boys couldn't come in from PE without taking a shower.
That's exactly right. Come on, man. It's all programming.
Ali insulted Frazier's intelligence, claimed he smelled bad, and snuck into one of Frazier's training sessions to harass him from the catwalk above the ring.
By my measure, the two worst episodes of Ali's life.
So did you just hear that? I've never heard this before. Ali actually catcalls him?
Episodes of Ali's life were, by my measure, the two worst.
To harass him from the catwalk.
So what's he saying right here? Your mother's ugly and you stink and you're an idiot.
Make him have uprising.
Yeah. So basically, this is the truther movement coming forward saying, hey, you guys, that's fake news. I'm the decided winner because I am on Carson.
Well, I don't see many marks on you either.
Well, I am pretty good.
Yeah.
Ali knows. He knows that the fight is rigged. He still has to win, but Joe Frazier has been told not to win. This is one of the 25 shows we're going to do after this. The Thriller from Manila was a look away from a very, very serious action happening at the time of the fight. Are you starting to get the trend of this?
Yep.
Okay, I got 20 minutes left.
Is this water you're having? No, that's wine.
Okay, who's that?
That's Jack Benny.
That's Jack Benny. Jack Benny. Oh, well, who was one of the predecessors to Carson?
Jack Benny.
Thank you.
I thought you never drank. We've been out.
This is the validation of this relationship. Johnny keeps getting validated. He's the programmer.
Together, you hardly ever have. I hate all liquor and I hate wine. But I don't know.
I hate to whine. Okay, for everyone who doesn't know.
Liquor.
What's that?
I hate all liquor and I hate wine.
Well, Jack Benny comes from the Prohibition age, of course. Well, I know I'm dealing with a younger audience here. My average audience is women over 54, so a bunch of kids.
He was a virtuoso on the violin.
I think you play beautifully.
You do?
Yeah.
Generous to a fault.
My baby, when you go out.
Does this look right here?
Yeah.
That look right there is most of America right now. And these are the people watching CNN laughing at us.
Generous to a fault.
My baby, when you go out with me, money means nothing.
Money means nothing. Is that a current headline? Joe Biden went to Ukraine today and gave them $500 million, and the people in freaking East Lebanon, Ohio, and the neighboring Pennsylvania and neighboring Ohio, and all of the Eastern Seaboard are supposed to be gone. But you know what? Don't worry about it, baby. If you're with me, I gotcha. I'm going to buy you the best dinner I can and spoil you.
Why, I'll take it.
Pardon me, mister. Here's your penny change.
Yeah, but yet he's a cheapskate.
Yes, he was.
This is, traditionally, he was a horrible musician and cheapskate. And here he is lavishing at the end of his life, validating Johnny Carson.
I think I was a little bit nervous, and I thought wine would fix me up. You know, I'm always so nervous.
Does he look nervous about anything?
Nope.
This is the height of the cabal.
Right now, I'm a wreck.
Yeah. Boy, they look like they're a wreck, don't they? If I live in East Palestine right now, I'll go to the last 2 shows. I'm not doing this. The government said it's safe.
It's very reassuring.
Oh, who is that?
Hit play a second.
In a way to know that all these fans are so interested in film personalities that they...
Raquel Welch?
Oh, yeah.
So Raquel Welch does a pinup. She is the right after Marilyn Monroe. And we all know after Marilyn.
Raquel Welch. She helped the guy in Shawshank Redemption get out of jail.
Okay. Raquel Welch goes all the way. I'm not going to hit the images here. She goes all the way to this. She's at Hefner's mansion in the mid 70s. And we all know about Hugh Hefner, right?
Yep.
So
I would like to come, and even just look at your house and your shrubs. It sometimes is rather embarrassing.
I'd love to see your shrubs.
Once again, Johnny says something that would get him freaking canceled in 4 seconds today.
Have
you ever had anybody? I know you. I'm sorry for that. Any opening at all, I jump right in.
Uh-oh.
Now, wait a minute. Wait. Now, look, that's really...
Okay, you know who this guy is right here? This guy right here, you know who this is?
No.
That's Mel Brooks. So Mel Brooks is a comedian and a filmmaker. And he is, so there's a trend. And so unlike most of my stuff, I actually previewed this with you earlier. That's why we're doing this whole line of shows. Mel Brooks does this massive catalog of movies, and he makes fun of Hollywood. And Mel Brooks, I think if you're looking for a real white hat, it's Mel Brooks. And that's why this is all you see of him. He doesn't say a word. There's going to be a correlation as we go through this between the people that they say he was on the show and they run him through. They don't get to say a word. Mel Brooks is one of them. Oh, we'll do this. Because he doesn't get a word there, I'll get one here. Mel Brooks, best clips, Blazing Saddles. So there's a movie that is very irreverent, and it really pushes the boundaries of comedy at the time. It's Blazing Saddles. See how many of these you recognize. Clip number 1 is about racism and tyranny.
What? Don't do that. Baby. Oh, don't do that. I have to.
Send a wire to the main office and tell them that I said, ow!
This is Antifa burning down cities in a mostly peaceful protest. Now, what you don't know is that this man right here in the brown hat, we're back to hats, he has just been left for dead in a bunch of quicksand. Just the quicksand sounds like tyranny, doesn't it?
Yep.
Our main office, tell them I said, ow, gotcha.
And the guy next to him does nothing but take a note. Doesn't help him. Oh, let's go to the next one. This is one of Mel Brooks' movies. The guy that got no words out of his mouth because he pushed.
Boris! Oh,
They're about to hang a guy on his horse, and the banker is here, and the epitome of the hangman. Watch this, because they hang the horse too. This is very funny.
I've got a special.
Oh, I've got a special. It's called a new currency. Oh, no. I know. He's going to call this guy for his Nasara meeting.
You're being funny.
I'm trying.
When can you work him in? I couldn't possibly sneak him in until Monday, sir.
Oh, wait. I think he just called a date. Is that Chaz Carter with an eye patch?
It's possible.
That was actually funny.
Book solid. Monday. Splendid.
Monday. Spend it. RV's coming.
Oh, thank you, sir. And don't you worry.
Oh, this is the locally abused sheriff. Thank you. Oh, let's go to church. Oh, by the way, this is that originally was a free energy device.
Wow.
No, it would have been, but it's not brick. Oh, mud flood, low windows. Hey, why don't we make fun of religion and declassify Christ?
Are we to stay or up and quit? There's no avoiding this conclusion.
No avoiding this conclusion. I'm screwed, and you will see it will be.
Our town is turning into shit.
Be seated.
Turco and the French mistake. Voila!
This is, oh my God, that's not who I thought it was. But this guy, he does Hollywood Squares hard. We'll get to Hollywood Squares in the lineup eventually. You remember Hollywood Squares, don't you?
Yeah.
Shit. Have you got it? Yes. Sounds like steam escaping.
In the world.
Well, if you're the kid, then show me something.
Oh. Well, maybe a couple of years.
So this is Gene Wilder playing the fastest gun in the West. Gene Wilder, we'll get to him. I'm surprised he's not in the Johnny lineup because we previewed the Johnny thing. We'll get to Gene Wilder. I'm sure he's one of the 24,000.
Years ago, I could have shown you something, but today, look at that.
Yeah, look at that. He took the jab.
Steady as a rock.
Yeah, but I shoot with this hand.
Yeah, that sounds like vaccine injury, doesn't it?
To the Honorable William J. Lepedimint, Governor.
So it would be very interesting to know where Johnson was. Let's see. Johnson is 50. I don't know. To see if Johnson was running at this time, because this is very subliminal. It's all these Johnsons. Or they're trying to get us to suck their Johnson. Oh, wait. Sorry. Oh, my God. Look at all those Johnsons. I even have some hats. I have hats with dicks or Dixon hats.
I'm not used to public speaking. We, the white God-fearing citizens of...
We, the white God-fearing citizens. I'm going to stop there. Hey, studio audience, you see the horses? We have very close to the same sign on the property. If you don't have insurance, don't go past this gate, and don't take cigarettes beyond that. That's my kindred cousin. Okay. Oh, I love this scene. So that's sort of what happens when you start drinking high pH water, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
I've decided to launch an attack that will reduce Rock Ridge to ashes. What do you want me to do, sir?
I want you to ignite the East Palestine fire. Yes, I'll do it.
Snipers, con men, Indian agents, Mexican bandits. Down. I want rustlers, cutthroats, murderers.
Isn't that Antifa?
Oh, pretty much.
Desperados, mugs, pugs, thugs.
Is that Antifa?
Yep.
Nitwits, halfwits, dimwits, vipers.
Is that Antifa?
Yep.
Snipers, con men, Indian agents, Mexican bandits.
Oh, no, that's the border. This is really too easy.
Muggers, buggerers, bushwhackers, hornswinders.
Oh, no, that's the politicians.
Reckless horse thieves, bulldykes, train robbers, bank robbers, ass kickers.
That's the Fed.
That is.
Shit kickers and Methodists.
Could you repeat that, sir?
What did you expect? Welcome, Sonny. Make yourself at home. Marry my daughter. You've got to remember that these are just simple farmers. These are people of the land.
Well, so the breadbasket of our nation, outside of California, surrounds Palestine, Ohio, and Pennsylvania. They're just simple farmers.
That's it.
They're just people of the land.
The common clay of the New West. You know. Morons.
Yeah. Morons. Morons. We're just morons. Yeah. The guy that wrote the movie that we just saw is this guy. They gave him nothing. Mel Brooks, a fallen hero. I think he was a white hat. And if you're right, and the med beds exist, and the Palladians have this guy on a ship, and he's watching, I bet you he's saying, "Oh, your guys' cut scenes suck. Let me edit that." Mel Brooks, good guy.
Lake Baringo is a body of water.
Who is this? Is that Gregory Peck?
I think so.
I think it is too.
Water.
It's Jimmy Stewart.
Say again?
Jimmy Stewart.
Oh, Jimmy Stewart. Thank you, Jimmy Stewart. You're right. So this guy is a big actor. We're not going to spend a lot of time on Jimmy, but well, he's not wearing a Trump tie. But Johnny Carson's jacket is like a psychedelic. And those lapels, this has to be 1973. maybe 74.
Is smooth as glass, but getting to Lake Baringo is a genuine pain in the ass.
Well, I hugged you a little higher, but I'll hug her.
Okay.
Now,
Who's the blonde?
That's Lonnie Anderson.
Yes,
Burt
it
Reynolds'
is.
wife.
She's later one of the first people that has a court case, because Lonnie and her husband,
Burt Reynolds.
well, no, that's the second husband.
Right.
So, just for those of you that don't remember who Lonnie Anderson is, I'll do this for you. WKRP in Cincinnati. That's the first one.
Yep.
The safest place in the world to be is center stage.
Ladies and gentlemen, the first lady of musical comedy, Carol Channing.
Check your clock.
Carol Channing.
And it doesn't matter what the name of the character in the play is, it's always Carol. And that's what makes...
I didn't get my Lonnie Anderson shot, but yes, Lonnie was very important.
Okay.
what? Are you right-handed?
Uh-huh.
Doesn't matter, but so they were.
So if you did this in today's television, you would be arrested for assault.
Oh, God, yes.
See, now you take your knuckle and you hit it right there.
There's your thumbnail.
Okay.
And take the old man out.
I will.
Give me. I want Johnny's hands in it, so they see that he is molesting her. We're gonna pick this up in the next show, which might or might not happen tonight, depending on the energy of my producer. Say goodnight, Gracie.
Good night, Gandalf.
If you're within the power of my voice and you do not hear me say first that you should tell yourself you're fantastic, you should have this look on your face when you see your spouse every day, and when your dog comes home and you feel like shit, and your dog greets you because the only thing better than the dog is a horse, and a mule comes in right after. Good night, Gracie.
Good night.